You have handed your peace to strangers. Every single day, you wake up, and before you even fully open your eyes, you are already rehearsing what other people might think of you. You are already managing their invisible opinion of your life. And here is the part that should disturb you. You do not even realize you are doing it. This is not about confidence. This is not about self-esteem. This is about something far darker. Something Epictetus understood 2,000 years ago. Living as a slave, with nothing, with no rights, with no freedom of movement, and yet somehow freer in his mind than most people alive today who have everything. He saw it clearly. The moment you need someone else to validate your existence, you have given them ownership of it. You have made yourself their prisoner. And the cruelest part? They did not even ask for the keys. Think about the last time you posted something and immediately checked who responded. Think about the last time you held back an opinion because you were afraid of the room. Think about the last time you dressed differently, spoke differently, laughed louder or went quieter. Not because that was who you were, but because of who was watching. Now ask yourself honestly, how much of your life has been lived for an audience that was never even paying attention? Most people believe that seeking approval is a social habit, a personality quirk, something you grow out of. They are wrong. Seeking approval is a philosophical crisis. It is a fundamental confusion about what is yours and what is not. And Epictetus had no patience for that confusion. He would look at the modern world, at the curated lives, the performance of happiness, the desperate need to be seen. And he would say the same thing he said to every student who came to him, broken by what others thought. You have forgotten what belongs to you. Here is the brutal truth he taught. There are only two categories in this life: things that are in your control and things that are not. Your thoughts, your choices, your values, your effort. These are yours. Everything else, what people think of you, whether they approve, whether they clap, whether they stay, none of that is yours. And when you spend your energy trying to control what was never yours to control, you do not just waste time. You corrode yourself. You become someone who cannot make a single decision without consulting the invisible jury in your head. And the invisible jury is always in session. That is the trap. You think you are seeking approval from your parents, your partner, your colleagues, your followers, but eventually, even when they are not there, you are still performing. You have internalized the audience. You carry them everywhere. You edit your thoughts before you even finish thinking them. You censor your ambitions before they become real enough to act on. You shrink, not because someone told you to, but because somewhere along the way, their voice became louder than yours, and you forgot how to tell the difference. Epictetus was born into chains. He had no choice about that. But he made one observation that changed everything he understood about human suffering. He watched free men, men who owned land, men who commanded armies, and he saw that they were more enslaved than he was, because they were enslaved to reputation, to status, to what the Senate thought of them, to what Rome whispered behind their backs. They could not sleep without approval. They could not eat without it. And when it disappeared, as it always does, they collapsed entirely. A man who needs the crowd to feel whole is never truly whole. He is only ever as stable as their applause. And applause, by nature, stops. Now here's where it gets darker. Because it is not just that seeking approval makes you weak. It is that it makes you someone you were never supposed to become. Think about the version of yourself that exists only for other people. The one who agrees when they disagree. Who stays silent when they should speak. Who chooses the safe path, the expected path, the path that will cause no controversy, no friction, no awkward silences at the dinner table. That version of you is not you. It is a performance. It is a mask so practiced, so refined, that most people wearing it have forgotten what their real face looks like. And the tragedy is not that the world sees the mask. The tragedy is that you have started to believe it is you. Epictetus would tell you this directly, and without comfort. No one is coming to free you from this. The philosopher does not save you. The teacher does not save you. The approval you finally get from your father, from your critics, from the audience you have been performing for your entire life will not save you either. Because when it finally arrives, if it ever does, it will feel hollow. It will not fill what you thought it would fill. And you will realize, in that hollow moment, that you spent years of your life constructing a cage and then calling it a home. That is the cruelest part of approval seeking. It promises relief and delivers emptiness. You think, if I can just get them to see me, to acknowledge me, to praise me, then I will feel it. The thing you cannot name, the sense of enough. But it does not work that way, because the need was never about them. It was always about the wound inside you that decided, at some early, unguarded moment, that you are not enough on your own. And no amount of external validation can heal an internal wound. You cannot applaud your way to wholeness. You cannot be seen enough to feel real. The only thing that works, the only thing Epictetus would stake his entire philosophy on, is the decision to return to what is yours. Your judgment, your standards, your quiet, unwavering sense of what is right and what matters, not what they think is right, not what trends say matters. Yours, that is the work, and it is brutal work, and it is brutal work, because the world will not make it easy. The world will punish your indifference to its approval. People will call you cold. They will call you arrogant. They will say you have changed, as if change is a crime. They will pull at you. And there will be moments where you want to give in, where you want to perform again, where the silence of standing alone feels unbearable. Stand in it anyway. This is what Epictetus understood about freedom, that most people never grasp. Freedom is not the absence of chains. It is the presence of self-command. A man who can sit in a room full of critics, hear everything they say about him, and remain unmoved. Not because he is numb, not because he does not feel, but because he has decided that their opinion lives in the category of things that are not his, that man is free in a way that no wealth, no status, no number of followers can replicate. You want to know the most powerful thing you can do in a world that runs on validation? Stop feeding it. Not loudly, not as a performance of rebellion. Quietly, privately, one decision at a time. Choose without consulting the jury. Speak without editing for the audience. Rest without justifying your stillness. Create without waiting for permission. Live as if the only approval that was ever real was the kind you give yourself in the honest hours when no one is watching and nothing is at stake. Epictetus lost everything the world said mattered, and he found the only thing that does. The self that cannot be taken, the will that cannot be chained, the life lived from the inside out, not the outside in. Most people will live and die performing for a crowd that forgot them before they even left the room. You do not have to be most people.